Good morning, or good day, or good afternoon, or good evening, or good night. Anyway, today is the first day of fall. And it's already felt like fall for too long. So not much has grown to completion in the garden this year. Today is a sad day. Today is a sad day for me. Like, it's kind of silly, but we worked really hard. I worked really, really hard this year. Not that you could tell by looking around right at the moment. It's kind of, well, it is what you see. It's a tiny little space with a lot in it. We've got peppers and so many different kinds of tomatoes and onions. Don't even know where they came from. Chamomile, also no idea where it came from. These tomatoes, this beautiful little tomato right here, we don't know what kind it is. We call it emerald green. It's a determinate plant. It puts off hand-sized, well, yeah, about that size. This is a little small. Little globes, and they're dark green, and the plant itself was amazing last year. So we decided to plant it again this year. But they take a long time, like a long time to continue, to get to fruition, right? To complete their cycle. They took a long time last year, and we started them super early this year, and it wasn't enough. We haven't got one that's ripe off of it. No matter how I've tried to do the trimming, take off the new little starts, take off new blooms, every one has had to come off beforehand. Mind you, not just because it's taken so long, which is a big part of it, but because, well, the birds started coming in and pecking them because they were thirsty. And we have a small water feature, and I did put out some water in the other part of the yard, which some of them came in and ate from there and drank from there. But anyway, trying to get this out of the garden before today. Try to get anything to grow. And today, well, as you saw on the ground over there, it looks like grass. That's not grass. That is my tomato plants. This is why it's a sad day. Because as much as, it is the first day of spring, I have to cut down all my tomato plants. That bed over there, that was nothing but tomato plants. Earlier today, these random tomatoes that we did not plant was in that what is now an empty tall bed over there. It just sprung up and said, "Hi, I'm here. Guess what? You're gonna like me." And do you know what? We do. We got two that we managed to ripen in the kitchen, and we're gonna taste a little tiny piece because they're only about this big. They're tiny little, like, pear-shaped tomatoes. But two of them are ripe. Yay! So Davina and I are going to try them later today, and going to try to save seed, even though we have no idea if it's a hybrid or not. But it doesn't matter. It's worth a try. The thing was so long. It went from the bed, and the tallest part was reaching over our roof. Which, okay, we live in a trailer. It's not the tallest roof, but holy cannoli, it might have been the tallest tomato we had in the yard this year. Amazing. Tomatoes. Oh, I tried. They smell. You guys know, you know that if you ever grown a tomato and done this, you know exactly that tart, brilliant green garden growing smell that says, there is a tomato sandwich in my future, right? We've had two. this year, too. One was yesterday, and the other was a while ago. It was very good. It was a big beef steak. I think it was called Beef Master. It wasn't one we grew from seed, but we enjoyed it because it grew. It was a giant, oh, it was so good. I don't think we took pictures because we didn't grow it from seed. That was part of that. The one we did take pictures of was a giant heart. We still don't know what kind it was, or what variety of tomato, but it grew into a heart and a spider hid in the little crevice like the whole time. It was kind of neat. But then the smoke came and the birds came, and the birds ate the spider first, him and his brothers, and then started pecking my tomatoes. Oh, anyway, so that's not all we have here. We also have kale. These are like fairly small, and I should have thinned them, but really I didn't think they were going to grow at all. Then we have these flowers. Neither of us say we planted them, but they're here, and they've managed this whole time. And here's another brassica, which has got dirt all over it and been eaten by bugs. I think this is a choy. I'm not sure. I can't remember. So much has gone on since I dumped things in the garden. Nope, that's the choy right there, being smothered by nasturtium. Nasturtium's great, don't get me wrong. It's fantabulous stuff. But this long one, we didn't plant this. This came back from last year. We bought a couple of starts at a little roadside stand. And we thought, well, those look like so pretty. They look like they belong in water. And, we had no idea. But then we learned a lot about nasturtium. And I've got to tell you, this stuff, it's edible. The flowers are edible. I've picked these, and I have a collection going in my kitchen for tea. These leaves, I've actually roughed up one side, taken just a little bit off so that the goo starts coming out, and used that as a bandage on one of my kids, grown kids, where she had a scratch. And it burns for a second, and then it's gone. And she actually forgot she was wearing it, which was kind of neat. Nasturtium. So look at that little spider. You see him? You see him right there? Hello, little spider. So it's edible. It's medicinal. It's pretty. But this variety, oh my goodness. It just goes and goes and goes. And then there's these things. Don't know what they are, but I read somewhere that they're native. So, which means I've actually looked it up. But I can't remember off the top of my head what it's called. And there it is. That's the inside. It's supposed to be edible. I don't like it. Oh, yeah, as soon as I tasted it, I remembered. No, I don't like that at all. So we have things. And here's means trial. Late to the game, and any gardener that may watch this will know that is... I'm not a gardener, and I forgot. So, anyway. But look! Isn't that beautiful? Maybe not the bug damage, but I just started plopping them in the ground because I didn't know what else to do with them, and they started to grow. So maybe we'll actually have some greens for winter. During the summer, there was no growing greens, even keeping them in the shade and shade cloth and all the rest of it was not enough. The heat from the sun was too much during the day. From all the plants, not just any kind of lettucey thing. It was too much. They didn't even bolt. They just died. Oh my goodness. So end of season, I just dropped a couple of scraggly little plants in the ground over here underneath tomatoes, thinking it's worth a shot. Well, they're still growing. So yay! I do have to take out the nasturtium. It has to come out, even though, like, it's so beautiful. Like, look at, oh, I just scared a spider. Look at that. The colors on them are, like, look at that. You see inside there? No, you can't. Almost. There we go. Is that not just beautiful? Looks like something that should be maybe in the tropics or something like that. I don't know. Not in my backyard. Stunning flowers. Not really tasty. Like the leaves. Oh yeah, the leaves. They're edible. And you could make a salad out of them, but it's weird, peppery water taste. We've eaten them. Of course we have. But it's weird. And this is lemon balm. And this one had been prospering to the point that I thought it was going to take over the garden. Instead, the nasturtium kind of is trying to kill it. Yeah, I got to figure that out. I'm not sure what to do about that. So anyway, sweet potatoes that probably, well, no, not probably, I did plant too late. And I hope next year to find these again and be able to do this again. Maybe not in a giant bucket, maybe actually in the ground, but then again, probably in a giant bucket. But earlier, so that we can actually have sweet potatoes. That would be amazing. Oh, first day of fall. Oh my goodness. My little grape. Look at this thing. See that? This is its second year. I honestly didn't think it would live. I really didn't. We planted it, and it's nostalgic for reasons maybe I'll explain later. And it made it. It lived. It lived. Yay! It's alive. So is the fungus on the stick, trying to hold it out. Just about time to change out that stick. This is my tall bed that I got from a friend a few years ago. He was upscaling his and decided to offer it to me. So of course I said yes. Of course I said yes. It would be crazy not to say yes, because it also came with all its dirt. Like, how amazing is that, right? But it's being torn apart today, and weirdly, it smells like potatoes. Or I thought it was weird, until I found 4 tiny little potatoes. And this is this is my corn. Probably it's going to be too cold to get much past this. It's too bad. This is glass gem corn that I actually bought from another YouTuber off their Etsy shop before they moved. And I was really hoping, like, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4 ears on one stalk. 4. Okay, yes, I planted it in the wrong spot, but it's all the learning things. Oh yeah, what do you think of my ladder? Isn't that great? Necessity, mother of invention. I can't be the first person to do this. Everybody's trying to do anything, put protection over their plants. That's more lemon balm in there. It comes up to almost, mid-thigh on me, so that's a good 2.5 feet. That is Davina's, and in there's also a couple of kinds of basil. There's one. Oh, and some weeding is in me. Back there is more basil, the skinny one right at the back. And that is a big bunch of thyme that I think I planted part of it last year, and it kept on. So I took out some from another part of the garden and put it in there, and it's happily going. So yay, they made friends. Excuse me. Oh, nasturtium flower. Look at this one. This is one I have taken many pictures of in the last couple of days. Oh, it doesn't want to. Let's see what we can get here. Look at that. Is that not stunning? Oh. I'm not a flower person. I don't like getting flowers. I'm really not a fan of growing flowers. I don't know, it's just never been my thing. I always thought it was weird, somebody wanting flowers. Why would you want somebody to give you something that's already dying? Like, ew, gross. But now that I'm growing them, and I know that they're here for the bees, for any of the pollinators, actually. And some of them are just the pattern. Like, look at that. And the little lions from Disney. Oops, maybe I shouldn't have said that. But, or, I don't know. Look at that. They're so beautiful. And like, there's other flowers here too. Again, don't know what they are. Those ones. Look at that. That's on the same vine. Those two. Beautiful. Let's see what else I can find. I don't know what these are. These are Divinas also. It looks like a snapdragon of some sort. I don't know. You can't zoom in. And this is a hosta. Supposedly it's edible. But I think that's kind of creepy. I don't know. It's weird, the idea of eating a flower. Well, it was weird, I guess. It's not so weird anymore, now that I eat more flowers. But not all flowers. But then, see this, and it's not... This is not what was on the seed packet. This is not... Or I mean on the starter bucket packet thing. It was supposed to be some weird fluffy flower. It's not a fluffy flower. It's flat and it's painted. And it kept going after winter. But it doesn't seem like any bugs like it at all. Actually, nothing goes over there. Which is... I've got a thing about wasting space. I don't like it. This is mint. And this has been chopped back and chopped back and chopped back. And it just keeps going. There is a squirrel up there trying to get my attention. Hello, little squirreler. Can I see you on my camera? Oh, way, way, way up there. Hello, little squirreler. Silly squirreler. So yeah, and this is other people have sheds. I have a shed, but it holds other random things. Excuse me. There's my car bed and what had been a compost bucket, but now we've just kind of spread it out. I've spread it out. The garden was left pretty much in my care. But I have fallen down on my job this year, obviously. It is a disaster. A lot of that was mentality. It's been a difficult year for everybody. And keeping up the motivation to keep things... Yeah. It's more about keeping people together this year. And if that means other things get put to the side, that's what's happened. So I guess I can make excuses for my disaster that is in no way what it was supposed to be this year. But it's 2020. and I had my family move home. This is the craziness we live in, like, right now. This is reality. Look at that. I wish I had a yard to actually use it in, but we have used it, just not necessarily for, its intended purpose. I've got to check the air quality. My lungs are saying it's not nice. Look at this. What is this? Do any of you know what this is? The grandbaby planted some peas, and this appears to be one that decided not to die. Even though it looks like it's dead over here, it's produced this really pretty pea that I don't know what it is. Huh. Well. And the basil, I tore its tops off last night. And this little bean. Look at this little tiny bean. It just decided to say hello. Hello, bean. Well, the flower of a bean. And the tomatoes. These all get to come down today. This is the Beefmaster. This good-sized little tomato right there was tiny when we first brought this plant home. I don't think I've kept any on that are that size. Maybe this size. Maybe. When we first brought it home. And it just stayed that size. Well, it grew a little bit. Went to about that size. It was like enough to keep me from taking it off, right? Because what is the point of that? Well, glad I left it. It's going to be one of our last tomatoes. I keep checking it. I will take it. Probably tonight. If it actually does show more signs of being rain today, then it will come tonight. Green or not. But oh my goodness. Yeah, Beefmaster. Definitely. I bought it because Beastmaster, right? I'm that age. So, but look at that. Look. I want this. I want this. Oh my goodness. Kale. Had to grow it in this and hang it by the door to keep the rodentia out of it, because they keep eating everything. It's kind of like my beets. And still, that was going to be potatoes, but they dug them up. This was a whole bunch of peas. They dug them all up. This had a kale in the middle.